Hello students, welcome back to Study Life. So today we are going to talk about the topic work, energy, power and collision. This is a small concept but very important concept, and of course MCQs will be based on all these concepts and is an important one. Okay, so now let us talk about the work first. Okay, basically see, work is nothing but what? When force is applied and of course there is displacement. If these two things are there, then we say that work is done. That means when the force is applied on a body and there is a displacement, right students? So basically work formula is force into displacement. Okay, now in this case, in case if you talk about vector part, it will be force is a vector quantity, displacement is a vector quantity, and it is a dot product. So work definitely is a scalar quantity. Okay, now when you remove the dot product, of course it should be what? Cos theta. So work is equal to Fs cos theta. So this is the formula you have to remember. Now in this case, very important part is we are going to talk about the work done by constant force, right? When the constant force is applied, students, this is the part we have to study about, that is the work done by constant force. Here as you can see, that when the force is applied, in this particular direction, then it is resolved into two components. One is along x-axis and one is along y-axis, right? So along x, that is along with the theta, it is F cos theta. This is what is the displacement in this case. So students, what we can write here is this formula we can write here, that is W is equal to F cos theta, which is equal to Fs cos theta. So that is this particular part which I have explained you earlier. Right students? Now in this case, you have to remember this particular definition for work. Suppose different forces are acting on it, then in vector form we can write it in this pattern, right? Now let us talk about the nature of work done. Nature of work done is also very important, because different types of work is there. One is positive work, negative work, no work, right? When we talk about positive work, meaning that the force and displacement both are parallel or in the same direction, then we call it as positive work. Now in this particular examples, you can see that the person has lifted the weight. Okay, now here in this case, the force acting by man is in upward direction, and of course while lifting the weight, it is also displacement is in upward direction. So both are in the same direction, right? That means this person has done positive work. Okay, positive work is done by this person, right? So this is about the positive work done, students. Then after that we are going to talk about the next one, that is about negative work. Okay, now these are the examples given here. All these examples you can just of course go through that. There's a good examples. So the maximum work done when we talk about it is what? Fs, because when both are in the same direction, that is force and the displacement are in the same direction, so the angle will be 0, right? As we have learned that W is equal to what? Fs cos theta. So cos 0 is 1, so we get Fs. So the maximum work will be Fs, right? Then comes the negative work. Now in this, students, what happens? When can you say that the work done is negative? Of course when force is applied in one particular direction and the displacement is in opposite direction. When this happens in this particular example, you can see this. Now here the person has lifted the weight, right? Lifted the weight, that means displacement is in upward direction, right? But gravitational force is in downward direction, right? Both are in opposite direction. That means theta value will be how much? 180. When theta is 180, cos 180, students, how much it is? -1, right? So that value we can substitute and you will get it as what? Minimum work will be done, that is minus Fs, right? The same example you can see in many different places here between charges and all that. That means for negative work done, the angle should be between F and S should be 180 degree. Okay, then after this, here are the few examples, students, given here. You can just see this. Now here we are going to talk about the zero work done. When can you say that work done is 0? If this example you can see here that the pulley is lifting the load at the head, right? As you can see here, that means the weight due to gravity, force due to gravity is in acting downward direction, and the displacement, so it makes an angle how much? 90 degree, Okay, when the angle is 90 degree between force and displacement, then of course cos 90, students. What is cos 90? It is 0. That means work will be 0. Then we can say that the work done is 0. So understand this concept. It is very, very important. This example also you learn better. Here what happens is when a body moves in a circle, the work done by the centripetal force is 0. Remember this. Even in case of the magnetic field, force acting will be Q, V cross B. So this also is perpendicular. Cross matlab perpendicular. Remember this particular part. So we can say that the work done by this force is 0. So these are an example for 0 work done. So remember this. Now one more concept is there. Suppose there is no displacement at all. When this happen? When you push a wall, right? When you apply force to the wall, wall is not moving. There is no displacement. That means work is not done. 0 work done. Here the example is given here. The person is pushing the stone, big stone, right? And it is not moving, displacement 0. That means no work done. So this is the concept which is very, very important. You have to learn this particular part, nature of the work done, of course, right? Then after this part is very, very important because numericals will be based on this. That is the work done by a variable force. Now as you can see here, when different forces are acting here, that is from A to B, you can say that different forces are acting here, right? Forces keeps on changing. So students, which formula are we going to use? That is small work done will be force into small displacement, that is F dot ds. And if you have to get the total work done, you have to integrate. Integrate from where to where? From A point to B point. You are integrating this particular part. So this is the formula you are going to use it. And for rectangular component, students, already you have learned earlier about scalars and vectors, how to multiply and everything. So this is the pattern we write F vector, that is Fxi in the form of ijk. Same way we write it as what? ds vector also in the form of ijk. So we can multiply and you get this particular formula. So normally numericals comes here where F forces are given in the terms of ijk. So we are going to apply this particular formula. Right, students? Then after this comes the next part as unit. Okay, so unit and dimensions of work done. Of course, we have to remember that particular part because work is force into displacement. So we get the unit as work unit is joules in MK system and erg in CGS system, right? And one more unit is there, that is the Newton meter in MK system. Newton meter we have got from this particular formula, right? And there is a dimension given to it, that is anyways you have already learned about it. Okay, so that is m1 L2 t minus 2. So we have to understand all these basic things about work. Then after this next part we are going to talk about, that is the work done, calculation of the work done using graph. So whenever graph question comes here, so which formula are we going to use? So whenever graph question comes, students, you have to use the area under the curve. Okay, so that you have to find out the work done from A to B, this particular part. Okay, so this is the curve and the area which is inside the curve, we are going to find it out. Alright, so here in this case, students, as you can see here, small work is what? F into dx. Dx is the width of this particular part. Okay, as it is given here in the diagram. Okay, then we have to apply here xi is the initial displacement, xf is the final displacement, that is what is given. So don't worry not to remember a whole thing, you can just remember this particular part. That is work done is equal to area under curve between xi and xf. Okay, so using this formula we can find out the work done by for a graph. Okay, then comes the work done in conservative and non-conservative fields. You have to understand this concept, students, here, conservative and non-conservative. So basically conservative are the examples you can see here, electrostatic force, gravitational force, right? Then elastic force, magnetic force, all these are examples of conservative forces. Now basically what is this conservative forces? As you can see here, see this is the diagram. In this different path length is given. One is the straight path between A to B. You can see this is a straight path, that is one. There is one, you can see this way, right? This is the path. And the third one you can see here. So there are three different paths. One is a short path, one is a long path and everything. So conservative force does not depend on path which is followed. So that is a very important concept here. So this one, conservative force is independent of the path followed. Okay, so this is the formula, of course, that is integration of F dot dl. Dl is the path length. Okay, change in the path length. Then in this case, as you can see here, in conservative field of work done, the force over a closed path is 0. Okay, now in this case, so that means force over a closed path is 0, that means work done will be 0. We can say that work done by this will be 0. That is the next formula we have to remember. And the work done formula is given as minus mgh, that is the potential energy, students. So remember this particular formula here at different paths, it is given here. So not too much, like main important point for the conservative force is it is independent of the path length, and the work done in this case is 0, and the formula for work done is mgh depending on positive and negative one. Okay, if it is 0 work done, value will be 0 you are getting here. Then after this, next one is non-conservative forces. Non-conservative force, it depends on the path length. It depends on the path length. And examples are given here. Frictional force, viscous force, air drag, etc. are the examples for non-conservative forces. And the work done in this particular is never be 0. So this is the difference you have to remember, students. That means non-conservative forces depends on the path length, and work done will never be 0. And these are the examples which is given here. So this is the formula for non-conservative force, that is mu. Mu stands for coefficient of friction. Okay, mu mgs. S is the displacement. Right? So you have to remember all these things. And then comes the next part of it, which you have to study, is the next concept here about energy. So work part we have completed. Now let us talk about energy. Energy, students, we know that it is the capacity of a body to do work. That is called as energy. So just learn that energy is also a scalar quantity, and dimensions and units you have to learn, and these are the conversion, students, you should know about it. Okay, all these conversions you have to study. Then comes the mass energy equivalence that was given by the scientist, that is E is equal to mc square. This is the relation between mass and energy, right? So this much you have to learn for this particular topic. And then these are the various forms of energy. Just for your knowledge, you have to remember this particular part, that is the mechanical energy, chemical energy, magnetic energy, electrical energy. All these energies are different forms of energy. Okay, various forms of energy. Then we are going to talk about, next is transformation of energy. Transformation of energy. Okay, now in this transformation of energy, in this diagram you can see that mechanical energy is converted into electrical energy. In that concept is used in dynamo, right? Then photoelectric cell, the light energy is converted into electrical energy. So just learn those things just for your information. And as you can see here, chemical energy is converted into electrical energy, and so on. Chemical to heat, sound to electrical. So all energy gets converted from one form to another form. That is why we say that the energy is conserved, is neither created nor destroyed. Okay. Then after this, the next concept we are going to talk about types of energy, students, that is the kinetic energy and potential energy we are going to discuss here. So basically kinetic energy is nothing but the energy possessed by a body due to its motion. By the virtue of its motion, we call it as what? Kinetic energy. And the kinetic energy, of course, these are the examples, is all known examples. Flowing of water possesses kinetic energy, right? Then moving vehicles, anything which is moving, we call it as what? Kinetic energy. Then after this particular part, for this kinetic energy, students, of course, everywhere we are going to use the kinematical equations. Based on that, we are going to find it out. And kinetic energy formula, you have to remember, that is work. Kinetic energy, of course, is the work done. So it is half mv square. This is the energy formula you have to remember for kinetic energy. Okay. And how do we get this? We get it from the basic definition of work. That is Fs, right? F is what? Ma, mass into acceleration. And S is nothing but what? V square upon 2a, which we got it from here, kinematical equations. From here. Right? So that is used, and we are getting the kinetic energy formula as half mv square. Okay. So anyway, the same thing is explained in the form of calculus form. That is not required for entrance point of view. You have to just remember the formula basically. Then after this, we are going to talk about the next part. See, it is given here, vector form it is given here. V square we can write it as what? V vector dot V vector. Okay, and that is always positive because vector into vector becomes your scalar. Remember this part. Then comes your relation of kinetic energy with linear momentum. Linear momentum is nothing but what? Mass into velocity. So we have to study the relation between kinetic energy and linear momentum, because MCQ's questions will be based on this, entrance questions. So we get this formula. Remember students, these are the formula you have to remember, that is E is equal to half PV. Okay, the next formula you also remember this particular form, because numericals questions MCQs are based on this particular part. And momentum formula is 2E upon V, that is 2 times kinetic energy upon V, that is root 2 ME. So remember these many formulae, okay, for this particular part. Then comes, we are going to talk about the stopping of vehicle by retarding force. What is the retarding force? The force which is acting in opposite direction, which stops the motion of any particular body, which is trying to stop the motion of it. So stopping distance, let us talk about stopping distance here. So in this case, as you can see, this is the initial velocity, here is the final velocity. So according to work energy, this is the work energy theorem which is used here. Then the stopping force, okay, force is nothing but what? Force into distance is nothing but work. So here it is stopping force into distance will give you what? Kinetic energy of vehicle. So remember this particular part. So the stopping distance will be kinetic energy upon stopping force. Remember this particular part from here. Again everything is based on the basic definition of work done, which is nothing but energy, that is force into displacement. So we are getting here stopping force formula as mv square upon 2 times F, that is the stopping force which is applied. Okay, so remember this particular part. Even if you want to find out the stopping time, what time the car will stop, for that again stopping time is mv upon F. So remember this basic formulas, will be easy to solve any kind of numericals based on this. So the ratio of stopping distances, we can just remember this particular part, x1 upon x2 is equal to e1 upon e2, which is equal to m1 v1 square upon m2 v2 square. Same way we can just remember this particular part. Even if you don't remember, you can just divide it, you will get the answer. Okay, then this is all about this particular part, which is important students to remember. And in case of friction, if the vehicle is stopped by the friction, then you have to remember this particular part. Stopping distance is equal to v square upon 2 mu g, and stopping time is v upon mu g. Okay, remember this particular part. Now let us talk about the potential energy. Potential energy is nothing but the energy due to the virtue of position. Okay, that is a basic part of potential energy. So in this potential energy, we are going to talk about different types, that is elastic potential energy, electrical potential energy, and gravitational potential energy. Okay, these 3 types we are going to learn about. Then the first one is change in potential energy. Remember this, U2 minus U1, that is the change in potential energy is minus work done, which is given here. Okay, then in this case, next part is same thing only which is given here. Suppose if the distance taken is from infinity to r particular distance, then we can write in the form of integration. That is what is only shown over here. Then after this, next part is, yes, conservative force and everything. This is not required much to remember. Only formula, just learn and go for this. Okay, that is more than sufficient. Then we will talk about nature of force. Nature of force, that is attractive force and repulsive force. Now for attractive force, this is the condition: on increasing x, that is the distance, potential energy goes on increasing. So for attractive it is positive. Okay, that is the potential energy per distance, we call it as what? It is positive. And for repulsive force, increasing x value, potential energy goes on decreasing. Okay, so it is negative, right? And then is zero force. For zero force, increasing x, u does not change. That means the ratio will be 0. Okay, so these are the types, students. Remember this particular part. And then let us talk about the types of equilibrium again. Here also, if the net force acting on a particle is 0, it is said to be in equilibrium. If the net force acting on the particle is 0, here we are going to talk about stable, unstable and neutral. That is what is given here. As you can see in this case, if for stable, we can remember like this. Suppose if you take a body of concave shape and there is a object placed here, right? That means it is at stable position, right? The same thing if you place it here, inverted like this, and if you place the object over here, then it will be what? Unstable position, right? And in this case, if you see, if you take a plain horizontal surface, right students, and place the object here, that will be neutral. So these situations are given here as we have already studied. For the stable, that means potential energy is minimum, right, and negative. And for unstable, potential energy is maximum, okay, and for neutral, potential energy is constant. So remember these three conditions just to understand the positions of it, okay. Then after this, the next part, so this diagram is shown here which I had explained you earlier. Then comes the elastic potential energy. The elastic potential energy is nothing but the restoring force and the spring constant we are going to talk about. As you can see the three diagrams here students, in this case there is a spring attached to a body, right, and it is at rest position. So displacement here is for equilibrium, it is 0 here given, and then when you pull it, in the external force is applied to it, then there will be displacement, that is towards positive x-axis, and when it will be restored back, okay, because of the internal restoring force it will go back, that is a minus x position which is given here. So since the force and displacement both are in opposite direction, so F is proportional to minus x, which is equal to F is equal to minus kx, where k is called as what? Spring constant. Okay, so for spring value, this is what formula you have to remember students, that is k is the spring constant, and you have to remember the dimensions and everything of k. K is equal to F by x, and the dimensions you are getting here as m1 t minus 2. L factor will be 0 in this case. Then after this elastic potential energy, so this elastic potential energy, remember this particular formula, that is U is equal to half kx square, where k is the spring constant and the k value of course is given as m omega square. Okay, so what is m? M is the mass of the body, and omega square value is given by what? K by m, which you get here. In terms of periodic time, it is 2 pi by t. We can substitute that value. Then after that comes the gravitational potential energy. Now gravitational potential energy, of course, when two bodies are there, the forces of attraction between them is the gravitational forces of attraction, and based on that you get this particular formula, that is you have to remember this gravitational potential energy, that is minus g m1 m2 upon r. Capital G is the universal gravitational constant, m1 m2 are the masses, and r is the distance between the two masses. Okay. Next concept is about power. Okay, so we have completed with work and energy. Now this is the power part. Power is nothing but what? The rate of change of body to do work. Okay, that is work upon time, and then work, of course we know that Fs, that is force into displacement. So we are substituting everything. So instantaneous power value is given as F into V, that is the force into velocity. So power is a scalar product of force and velocity. Remember this. Of course, scalar product meaning what? Cos theta will be the factor into that. Then we have to learn about the dimensions and units here students, right? And of course learn the conversion part. This is all very important. Watt conversion, that is 1 joule upon second, that is 10 raised to 7 erg per second. And 1 horsepower, that is 746 watts, and 1 megawatt, that is 10 raised to 6 watts, and 1 kilowatt is 10 raised to 3 watts. Remember this particular part. Then power is, of course, is inversely proportional to time, because we have learned that it is work upon time. Then students, after learning all these things, concepts here, next comes the formula. Here we are going to talk about, that is work and versus time. We are going to talk about work versus time here. So we get here work is equal to integration of P dt, that is power into time. And if the graph is always given, remember you have to get the area under the curve. So to get the work done, which area we are going to talk about? Power versus time curve. So students, after learning this work, power and energy, the next concept is about collision. This particular collision part we are going to study in the next part. Okay, this is a complete independent chapter which we have to finish it off. So I hope you are clear with work, power and energy, which is an important concept, and the questions will be based on that. So wish you good luck, students. Thank you.